Welcome back to another episode of Checking In. With me in studio today, I have Karen Erickson and Kayla Caruana with IG Private Wealth Management. Thank you very much, ladies, for coming in to see me.
Thanks for having us.
So we've known each other for years and years and years and years, and would love to know. So I more know your beginnings. Head of or the leading partner in IG Wealth?
Sure, I can quickly go through it.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
I started my career at IG over 26 years ago, and I started as a marketing assistant, and then I became a consultant, and then I became a division director, and then I was a regional director, managing from Kelowna to Vernon and all the way down to Penticton. So yeah, it's been a great journey. And then in 2019, I stepped out of the management role, and Kayla and I partnered as our 50-50 business partners in our private wealth management firm. We love it.
And Kayla, you have lots of firsts, like youngest for this, youngest for that, chair of this, chair of that. So you've come in guns a-blazing into the industry. I imagine a lot of guidance from your mom or from Karen in really in the space. And
my career started again very similarly. I was an assistant, and then I quickly realized that I really liked more of the people side of things. I finished my finance degree. I got a bachelor's degree. And then once I was finished that, I moved into an advisory role. And then, I became the youngest certified financial planner at IG Wealth Management in the country when I got it.
Age 25?
Yeah.
She was 25.
Yeah. It was great. I honestly, because she has paved the way for women in our industry, I didn't really see any of it as an obstacle. I just kind of kept going. And so then we partnered in 2019, and we've been having so much fun ever since. So, yeah.
And Karen, the partnership is sort of that Rona, the transition as you move into more holidays and then of course Kayla having the ability to, and then some, to manage the portfolio.
We've been truly a partnership since we joined together, where clients, we are interchangeable. In fact, because we've worked together for so long, you could have a meeting with Kayla or I could have a meeting, and we are going to give the exact same advice. So we are interchangeable. So clients, doesn't matter who's in the office. And actually, we've now licensed our two assistants. They're now associates. So we have a team of 4 women that are licensed to help provide great client care when I'm away or she's away. There's always somebody on duty, which I love. Yeah.
So today,
sure.
And I don't even expect a hesitation. Would you recommend someone that's reassessing life and their career path? Would you recommend specifically female, would you recommend they step into this industry or this sector?
It's great because I just had 2 people, one from Okanagan College and one from Rutland Senior Secondary through their grad transitions program. They talked about what would this industry look like, and I feel like that women don't really get trained, or they get told about it. You know, you can be a lawyer, you can be an accountant, you can be this, you can be that, but nobody ever says you can be a certified financial planner. And I didn't even know about it when I was young. So I think that we have some work, and Kayla's working on this in order to get our story out there for our industry. And it actually, I think, is perfectly suited for women. We're detail oriented, we are caring and empathetic with our clients, and I think that's what they really need, is somebody to actually care about them. You know, we have a good trusting relationship with our clients, and I think that that's what people are looking for. I think everyone is looking for that, and it doesn't have to be, you know, the old boys school. And I think that the more, now when we went to our conference recently, 30% of them there were women, and I'm super proud of that. So that when I first started, even as a manager, there was 111 regions in the nation, and there was only 11 female regional directors. So, you know, you're looking at a conference of dark blue male suits is what that was. And so we've made some changes, and I think that our teams are growing. We're now, I think, even exploring more of the associate role, which is a good way to come into a practice and shine your unique abilities to the world, but you don't have to take on all the risks. So before, it was when Kayla started and I started, it was like you took the risk or you didn't. And now we find that we have more spots on the team that are for people that want to kind of like wade into it and learn what the industry is about, and then they can make their decisions.
It provides all of the flexibility. When I was young, I knew that all I knew is that my mom can attend anything. You know, every recital, every band trip, she was there. And I didn't realize that this career provided her that flexibility until I came into the business, and I was like, oh, that's why you have all the flexibility,
because we're self-employed.
You
work
work
we're
hard,
truly self-employed,
and then you're able to provide your family with that flexibility. So,
which is rare.
Right.
There aren't
It
a lot
is.
of career options that allow that.
No.
Yeah.
We're very blessed.
Speaking of financial planner designation,
Yep.
I got a hint of it a while ago, and never really stopped to comprehend or think it through.
Right.
So in my industry, there are not barriers to entry. Anybody can say they're marketing, anybody can say they're web development, and there are no proving of any credentials or any tests or no governing body. Now, you're on a mission. You are around the regulations or standards through the title protection of BC. So can you talk about that?
Yeah. So we have two different governing bodies. We have the federally regulated bodies and then the provincial regulatory bodies. And so federally speaking, there's not kind of one blanket across. They let provinces decide. So outside of Ontario and Quebec and soon to be Saskatchewan, there is not really any title protection around the title financial planner and financial advisor. So both of those titles are not protected in the majority of the provinces in Canada, BC being one of them. Isn't it
That's
wild?
crazy to me. I'm going to walk into your office and say, hey, I'm a financial planner.
It's wild.
And I may or may not be.
Yeah,
and then I'm
wild.
going to be guiding you in the allocation of your most important
that's exactly
future
it.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you walk into a bank and you assume that everybody, and they will say financial planner right away, but they're not.
Yeah.
And, the level of credibility and where we have to, attain every single year. We have to take continuing education courses in order to just maintain that. But all 6 disciplines of financial planning. So not just investments, but, insurance and estate planning and tax planning. All of those disciplines are super important, and you've got to look at it holistically, because if you're just having a broker that just does investments, they're not even thinking about the tax or the estate planning or how we're going to deal with that. And I think that true financial planning advice considers all those angles before giving recommendations.
Yeah, so to me, it's more about the consumer protection side of things, really, because it's a nonpartisan issue. I think everyone can agree that if you walk into an institution, you just assume based on their title that they are properly educated. So I think it's actually our job as advisors to raise the bar for that professionalism and to hold ourselves to a higher standard so that the community isn't confused and consumers are not confused.
So what is your role in this? Is it an official role?
Yeah, I volunteered a lot with Advocates, the Financial Advisors Association of Canada, FP Canada. There's many people who are involved there. Efforts are really concentrated to the provinces that make the largest difference across Canada. For example, most head offices are in, Toronto and Ontario. And so therefore, if they can get Ontario on board, which they have in the past few years, they can trickle that down through the provinces because their head offices for those institutions are in Toronto. So then they're just going to make it a mandatory thing across the country. So I've been doing a lot of background
and speaking
work.
To government.
So background work on just the education of it. Because when I have this type of conversation to someone that has power through the provincial government, they are like, how is that not already in place? And no one really argues with it. It's, again, nonpartisan issue. It's no matter who you are, you want the consumer to be protected. So Yeah.
You're trusting us with your life savings.
It's true.
So you
Your
should have
entire
somebody
life
qualified
savings.
to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
So you are both very active in the community teaching around financial literacy. So leaning senior or leaning young family or leaning women or anybody?
Seniors.
Seniors
Those
is
are
our
my people.
Yeah, we call
I
them our
love them.
people because we really resonate with, we have no trouble walking them through a process and re-walking them through as things progress in their life. We love the people that are about to make decisions whether they're going to be able to retire or not. That's a big deal because some people will just assume, oh, I have enough money, but do you? So we really take that job very seriously with our software, and we make sure that we can prove it analytically that you can retire. And then we love taking care of them as they're active and they're out traveling and enjoying life, but they have somebody on the home front that is taking care of things that need to be taken care of, and we walk them right through. And in fact, we had a client pass away, and we'll walk them right through the executor process and right through to the end, and then work with their beneficiaries. So
that's one thing that's a little bit different about us too, is we're actively involved with clients, accountants, and their lawyers, and we work together as a team so that you have kind of a hug around the clients. And I think that seniors really deserve that extra little bit of patience, and I love them. If you could fill a Tim Hortons on a Saturday morning at 7 a.m., those are my people. If you just picture that, that's it. Those are our people. I love them. Yeah.
So the does your advice or your approach change in the current landscape that we have? I think there's a tremendous amount of uncertainty.
Yeah.
There is, some would argue, a need for political change.
Agreed.
And we have very diverse opinions on the state of the Canadian economy, whether it's coming from liberals or it's coming from conservatives. So what does your advice change?
I think that I ask, and we do this regularly, I always ask clients, so we're here. So how do you feel about things if it's going to go here or it might go here? How do you feel about that? And then I look out there and I say, how do you feel what's happening in this world? And if they're feeling more anxiety and intrepidation of what's going on, we can always be balanced more conservatively in order to kind of, mitigate that ups and downs. And we don't know what's going to happen next year.
Sure.
Truly, we don't know. Recession, we could be going in. We've been talking about it for a really long time. Inflation could have been peaking. It might not. We don't really know. You have a U.S. election next year. There's a lot of stuff going on. And so we really
Interest rates.
I think that we try to customize it for how they're seeing it through their lenses. And then our advice is, though, always consistent. You're investing and your retirement plan is designed to last till you're 90, you're both 90, and we don't let short-term interruptions change our focus on where we're going. So as long as they're in the right risk tolerance and they have the timeline and nothing's changed in their health and they know that this could come down here or it could go up here, I feel like they are with us for the long term, and we have a really high retention rate in the industry with our practice that clients trust and believe, and they stay. So we're grateful for that.
And it is not common.
No, it's not.
And again, I saw your springboard was BMO.
Yes.
So my springboard was CIBC, and huge loss of dollars every quarter, every time something's coming up for maturity, because there's that innate seeking the best rate, and that isn't always
transactional.
The best.
Yeah, we're planning first and client first.
First.
And not transactional. And I like it because where our firm is that it doesn't matter what you're invested in. We just do the right thing for the client. And I love that. So you're not skewed. Sometimes there's buckets at the bank that you need to fill those buckets. Not that I'm against them, because I started there. But it's like, what do we need to do? It's more transactional, whereas we like to look at it with a holistic viewpoint that will cover everything.
So at IG Private Wealth Management, you are not beholden to any product, service, or offering.
We don't manage money. It's all third party, and you can have anything out there. So you can have stocks, bonds, ETFs, GICs, high interest savings, and you can have multiples because we can buy different banks. So you can have multiples out there on one statement. So we try to say you don't have to have all your eggs in one basket, but you can have it on one statement. And I think that's what seniors like, because they want simplicity as they're going through retirement. They want to not have a huge estate. So you have accounts over at a bank, and you have it here, and you have insurance over here. You have everything. You have to go through that whole estate process at all those institutions. But we can do most everything under one umbrella and have a smooth experience for clients.
And it's definitely one thing to say you've got an investment statement now, but do you actually have a financial plan? So we take that investment statement and then their goals and concerns and everything that they ever want to do with their retirement, and we make it into an actual tangible plan. So that's also, people think I've got a planner, they manage my investments. There's a whole different side to this that includes estate planning and includes those conversations that no one in the industry is having because they're so focused on the investment side of things. It's nice to be able to have someone that's educated enough to have that holistic view on things. Tax is an important component.
I was just going to say, tax, you just talked about it. What can we control? Well, we control the government current rules about principal residence and tax-free savings and how they're supposed to work, and even, deregistering money from your RSP if you're in a certain income bracket. Like, there's so many different things that you can do under our current environment for now. And I always say that, like, let's do this now change. Because you never know, the rules might change tomorrow. And so we use this software called Conquest. IG partnered with Conquest, and that is cutting edge software that basically, it's not just for us, other institutions can now use it, but it is really good software for the consumer, for every client out there. If they can have their data in there, they plug in everything, including their investments, their CPP, their personalized old age security, their pensions, and everything. And it truly is software that will say, can you retire? Will you have enough money to last you till you're both 90, including, let's consider care in the end, because the cost of care out there in the current landscape is very expensive to find long-term care. So does your plan allow you to take the vacations, upgrade your vehicles, renovate your house, put a new roof on it, and have care? And do you still have enough money when you, in the end, and what will go to your beneficiaries and your family? So we think about all of that every day.
Interesting.
And I love it.
And we love it.
Clearly.
And we love
I
it.
can tell. I can tell.
And we love it.
Well, thank you, ladies, very much for coming in. Really appreciated you spending time with us here. And I hope it certainly inspired people to consider a career in the industry or get a second opinion.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
We really appreciate
We love
that.
this.
Thanks so
Thank you
much.
for listening.